Hey folks, Justin from Tackle Tactics. I wanted to share with you a bit of on-water action fishing with my dad, a short session that we did fishing a couple of hours of run-in tide. But before we get into the on-water stuff, I thought I'd just look at a bit of the nuts and bolts of what we were doing, because this technique is, I call it the never fail, because so far so good, touch wood. We've always caught fish when we've gone out using this technique. I've spoken a bit about it before, but I thought today I'd try and just give you a bit more nuts and bolts on the technique and then show you a bit of footage. So this session we had a lot of fun on the flats. My dad just wanted to come and have a quick fish with the plastics. So what we did was we had a couple of hours of run-in tide and we went for rolling slim swims on the flats because it's proven successful so often in the past. It produces a wide variety of species, and although we didn't get the giants in this video, it does produce some cracker flathead, trevally, brim, all sorts of different species as well. So if you're having a go at plastics and you're not getting into the fish, or you're keen to give plastics a go, this is a great technique for starting. So rolling the flats is basically what we're doing. So our plastic of choice is that deadly little 2.5 inch slim swims. So it's a paddle tail plastic, so it looks like a tiny bait fish. And the underhook tail design on this plastic, and it's 10 times tough, Elastec construction, is the key to its success. That softness of the material gives it loads of action, the buoyancy brings it to life in the water, and that underhooked tail really grabs the water and gives it a crazy action that the fish can't resist. So the cool thing with that is on the sink it swims, every time you move it, it swims, and even just the water flow will make that tail work as well. So fish hit it right throughout the retrieve. So in terms of rigging it, I rigged that slim swims on a 1/0 size hook. So there's a lot of options in the TT Lures range in that 1/0. So probably the most common way that we fish it is on a 1/4 ounce 1/0 in a headlocks finesse. So headlocks finesse, you'll see blue top, black bottom, headlocks HD, black top, blue bottom. So the difference is heavy wire hook, fine wire hook. So I like the fine wire hook when I'm fishing the slim swims because a lot of the fishing is targeting brim, grunter, flathead. So I like that finer wire hook for the ultimate penetration with that plastic. If you're chasing fish like jacks, salmon, those sorts of things, you may step up to the HD where you're going to be consistently fighting heavier, larger, more aggressive fish, and also fish that may run you into structure and that as well. You might want that heavy duty hook. So the reason I run a 1/4, so the flats, what are the flats? The flats are basically banks, weed banks, rubble banks, sand banks that are out of the water at low tide. So when the tide comes in, it covers that area, and that's where I like to fish. Anywhere between 1 metre and sort of 2 metres of water is excellent, holds a wide variety of fish. And I like the end of the run-in tide, the last couple of hours where the fish have moved right up on that flats and they're up there actively feeding. And I also like the turn of the tide and the start of the run out, because that's when the fish are like, oh, I've got to eat now because the water's going to drop off the flats. So I need to make the most of it. And they're up there hunting all of the prawns and crustaceans and things they can't get at when the tide is out. But also they're up there chasing bait fish and stuff in a thinner column of water. So it's harder for the bait fish to get away from them. So I fish the 1/4 ounce because the 1/4 ounce gives me a long cast and also allows me to cover plenty of water. So the trick with it is, if you're fishing in an area that's shallower, it's got lots of weed or a slower drift, you might want to go down to a 1/8 ounce or a 1/6 ounce. For me, the 1/4 is what I prefer. I get that long cast, and then if I want the lure to run higher in the water, I can speed up my retrieve, we'll get the lure to run higher, or I can lift my rod tip. So a lot of the time I'll do a big long cast, I'll have the rod tip up and I'll give it a few twitches, and then I'll just start the wind, and then as I get closer to the boat, I might slow it down a bit, or I might drop the rod tip down because of the angle to the lure. So that as I get closer to the boat, I'm making sure that lure is still in the water, because sometimes you'll see, boom, you get that hit right at the boat as well. And in terms of the drift, we'll generally drift with the tide or the wind, and we'll cast ahead of the drift. So we're using that wind to get that long cast, or we're casting up current so that we're drifting back up and bringing that lure back to us. You don't want that lure dragging along behind you unnaturally, where you want to be driving that lure. So we'll cast ahead of the drift, or we'll cast on an angle to the drift. Max we want to be is sort of dead set across current when we get close to the boat with the lure. So we're normally casting ahead of the drift and bringing that plastic back to us. Retrieve speed's fairly quick, but like anything, mix up your retrieve. Mix up the speed of the roll, the speed of the wind. Mix up the pauses, try a few pauses in there, try a few shakes of the lure in there as well until you find what the fish want on the day. So that's that 1/4 ounce 1/0 in a Headlocks Finesse, a light wire hook. As we said, we can step up to that heavy wire hook, the HD, and you'll see on the pack, it says Finesse on that one, it says Headlocks HD on this one. And our HD is a heavy wire mustard black nickel chemically sharpened hook. So that heavy hook is excellent. Paul Chu, a guy that you would have probably seen videos and articles from, Paul Chu catches some epic fish on that, blue salmon and all sorts of species on that little 1/0 hook fishing the 2.5 inch grubs. So on the flats we're rolling the slim swims, but that heavy wire hook is still brutally, it's sharp, but it's brutally strong. So if you're chasing big fish, angry fish, hard fighters, that's a step up option for you. And then the other jig head that you'll see me tie on quite often is the TT Lures DemonZ. So the TT DemonZ is a painted head. So its hook is a lighter wire than the HD, but it's still reasonable gauge hook for large fish. It's caught some cracking giant fish, and it's a natural looking head. So for me, I've had success on it in the past, so I kind of go to it as a confidence jig head. But that natural painted head with the eyes, I think, is excellent when the water's clear and when the fish are a bit finicky. Sometimes they'll be short striking and that sort of thing. You put the DemonZ, that natural head on, and you'll find that you get more bites. But start off with those Headlocks Finesse, Headlocks HD, give them a run. If you're still finding the bite tough, try that DemonZ. So that's chemically sharpened black nickel hook again. We've got that natural looking head with that hand painted finish and those 3D eyes. Looks beautiful in the water as well. Another important factor with those is scent. So I always add ProCure scent when I'm fishing soft plastics. Extremely important when you're slow rolling and working the flats as well. And being a little bait fish profile, I'll generally use a mullet or a sardine pilchard ProCure Super Gel on these plackies when I fish them. All right, what have I forgotten to tell you? Our ZMan Slim Swims, our jig heads, our technique is that slow roll. Have a look at the video as well here and you'll probably see some things that we do when we are retrieving, some little things that I may not have even mentioned. But the key thing is, get out there, hit those weed banks, hit those rubble banks, hit those sand banks with a bit of structure in them. It's no good just a big flat piece of sand. Structure holds bait, structure holds fish. So you want those sand flats that are a bit broken up with rubble and weed and that sort of thing. Get out there on that last of the run in, first of the run out, drift those flats, throw those big long casts, slow roll, give it a few shakes if you want, give it a pause if you want. If the bottom is clear, you can see rubble or sand, you can let it hit the bottom and give it a few hops if you want, and that might produce a few more grunter or flathead or other species that are holding tight on the bottom. And what else do we need? Slow roll. Slow roll if you're slow rolling. So if I'm slow winding this guy and I get bite, 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 and you'll probably see it in the video, I will slow wind and I'll get tap, 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 tap. I won't change what I'm doing. I'll just keep rolling that plastic, keep that thing swimming. They like it because they're biting it. So I'll just keep swimming and eventually you'll find they'll eat their way onto that plastic and you get the solid hook set and away you go. If that's not working, you can, again, mix it up. If you don't change, the result won't change. So try that pause, try that bit of a shake and away you go. All right, enjoy this bit of a fun session out on the flats, fishing with my dad. As I said, we didn't get the monsters, but there's loads of action and plenty of fish not included in this video that we caught as well. So get out there, try that technique and get stuck into a few fish. Cheers. Yeah, so we can go over there and have a look. I don't know how much. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a big pike.
Big pike. Real low.
No, it's only a little brimbo, but it's a start.
Yeah.
Fish on. Brim up on the flats. They love that slimmy. There you go, buddy. Where's your big friends? Righto, now we're on it. See, early in the morning might be better too, Dad. Fish that low in the morning before everybody's out running around all over the place. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a better hit. That feels a little bit more solid. Basically, we're just keeping it simple. This is probably some of the simplest soft plastics fishing you could do. We're just rolling our slim swims out across the flat. 2.5 inch ZMan slim swims, 1/4 ounce 1/0 Jighead. This time we've got a grunter. Just slow rolling that placky over the bank. That time I was bumping the bottom a little bit. And that's when you pick up the grunter a lot of the time, when you're down on the bottom a bit more. He's not a bad fish, pinned nicely. They go hard, those little blokes. Yeah, that's another grunter by the feel of that pickup off the bottom. I'm going to motor us out just a smidge. You're on the sand there, Dad, touching sand as you see. Yep. He's cranky. Yep, this is a brother of the other one. Another little grunter. He's a little bit smaller, that bloke, but gee, they pick it up nice. I love them. They hit so hard. Just going to move out a smidge. So it's fair to say that we're drifting on a yabby bank about now. Those grunter are up on that yabby bank, I would say. Move you out a smidge, there we go. Oh, there you go, buddy. Thanks for the fight. Fought beautiful. That's with a few pauses on the bottom. I just motored us out a little bit, so if there is a sand channel through here, you should be right on it. Oh, turtle! Oh. Yeah, hey, buddy.
I know he's looking scared.
Yeah, lucky we saw him. When they come up behind you, that's when they give you a live up, eh?
Especially in the kayak.
I had one the other day with Sherry, turtle bomb I call them. Like that, turtle bomb.
He's a big one.
When they go off like that, they come up and then they blow up.
Yeah.
And they blow up behind you in the kayak. Oh, get you dancing. There's got to be one out there that wants to eat your plucky. That's a keeper. There's a rattle. Yep, double hook up.
Ah, dropped him.
Oh, we're on a double then.
We were. Hang on, he's back.
Is he? Have I got you?
Oh.
Maybe, no?
Maybe.
No? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Mine's gone over you, maybe.
I'm getting a bite.
This one's a Brimbo.
Good. Got a net under him, or you're right? No.
I got him. He's not a monster.
Yeah, and I'm over you or something. Maybe that was my bite.
Maybe.
Or is it my fish?
He's looking like he's on my Jighead. Alright, you're free.
Right, okay.
Only a little fella.
Oh no, I had a bite.
Yeah, this is about the end of the drain, hey? Yep, there's some more. Yep, there's another one. Hopefully he's bigger. Get your lure out there, Dad. There's a few of them here. Some of the simplest fishing you can do, rolling slim swims across the flats. He's only another little tacker. There's got to be a couple of good ones in amongst them, surely. We're just rolling these 2.5 inch ZMan slim swims. You on? Yep. So this style of fishing, we're on top of the weed bed. Here's a bite. So I'm just going to keep winding this lure and let the fish bite its way onto the lure and find the hook. No, doesn't want to eat it anymore, he's had enough. Yep, there he is. He's only a little fella, he ate it right to the boat. Up on the flat, just start a slow wind. Give it a hop if you want to give it a hop, or a shake. Slow rolling it, cover a lot of water, get the rattle, just keep winding it. Let the fish eat its way onto the plastic and find the hook. Yeah! There's a few here. No, he's about the same, is he? A little bit better? Oh, he's a little bit better. He fought well because you hooked him in the melon.
Yeah.
We just had a look at it though.
Play it around with it a bit.
Like a rocket. Bit of fun, eh? Bend the rod. Hopefully we can find a couple of their mates that are a bit bigger. There's a rattle straight away. Yep, wind him on, just keep winding and wind him on. Well, I spot lock a start.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if we don't sit down this direction or whatever.
We can just spot lock it and just see how we go. Come on, why are you not spot locking, dude? Oh, he's a grunter. Oh, they're solid muscle. Oh, see you, buddy. Oh! Oh, I let that hit the bottom. It's got to be a grunter. I let that hit the bottom and he just drilled it. Absolutely drilled it. Oh, good fun. Yep, grunter. You got a tap? Oh, there we go.
I've got a pike going, I think.
I've got a grunter.
I think I've got a pike.
Oh, maybe I've got my normal Brimbo.
Well, that'd be good. Good size.
He's alright.
Come on, buddy.
Do you want a bit of scent?
Yeah.
That'll do. The water's there if you need any. Hey! He didn't muck around.
I'm not confident that he's hooked too well.
He took it solid, eh?
Yeah.
Good fun anyway, bend the rod. You got him, you want me to get him?
No.
It's the deckie's job to get him off for you. They're good fun up on the flats though, hey? Like they still pull hard even that size.
Oh, yeah. It's better than sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
On?
I missed him on the first go, he got it on the second go. He's giving me a little bit more grief.
Yeah.
Oh, he's foul hooked, I think. Oh no. Oh no, he ate it. He's not a monster though, but he fought well.
Yeah, he thought the other one.
Oh, good fun anyway. On?
No. I'm hoping I'm not. Oh, there's a
You're on now. Pikey, straight in the smoker. Silver.
I think it's turned into a flag.
A nice brim it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a decent brim. You want me to,
Loop over the end of my.
you want me to net him? We're going to lift him.
I'll lift him up, I think.
Yeah, he's a decent brimbo, Dad. Oh, look at that one. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, he's not a bad brimbo.